Hi everyone, welcome to Tangle with Tracy Anne. In this week's video, I'll be showing you how to do a variation of the Tangle ing. It's called Star ing. I've had a play around with this pattern and I've come up with a few different varieties. A nice blue one, golds on black, and then a Christmassy theme. But today I thought I'd go completely different, and something I don't normally use is yellows. So first of all, I took out some scrap paper and tested out some of my watercolour pencils, and then I narrowed it down to 5 pencils. I'll be using Zentangle's Markus Operandus for this project. I ran out of Zentangle tiles, so I cut a circle out of watercolour paper, and now I'm placing it on my Markus Operandus. If you don't have one of these, I'll put a link below this video. And I'm marking out everywhere where there's a diamond. These diamonds are set at a 30-degree interval. Now I'm just eyeballing where to put the centre and putting a dot there. And using a Micron 01 pen, I'm going to start from that circle and join it to one of those dots. You could do straight lines, but I've decided to do curved ones. And each time come from that center point and up to one of those dots. I'm now going to place some dots so that I'm dividing each of those lines into 3 sections by drawing 2 dots. They don't have to be exact, just approximate. Now comes to the part where this pattern becomes like the original pattern ing. So I'm joining the one dot up to the next one on the next line. So I'm missing the first dot on the second line and drawing on an angle. And I've decided to also curve these lines. Starting from the tip of where we've just drawn, curve another line right up to that point on the edge of the circle. I'm going to add one more curved line, so coming from that top point and then meeting the line halfway along. Now this pattern is finished, I can enhance it with other tangles. I'm now switching to a Micron 01 orange pen, and I'm going to fill every second section in this bottom part with muka. Now I'm filling the area with muka, and then just to fill in those extra gaps, aura the sections. Do this same thing on every second segment. In the segments in between, I'm going to draw the pattern mist, but I forgot to film it. Here, if I zoom in, you can see what I've done. It's just a wiggly line with dots at the end, and you can vary the length of these lines. For the next tier, I'm using a red Micron PN, and towards the edge I'm drawing a scallop and filling it with some orbs I'm now going to draw lines coming from that point in the center up to the little grooves in the scalloped edge. I've coloured in my mooka and I might just thicken the lines on that pattern mist. For the edge, I've gone back to my black Micron 01. I'm going to draw some stripes, and I don't quite like that scallop that I've just done, so I'm making it a solid black stripe. And I'm going to do this on each of these sections. Whoops, I've missed a couple of lines, but I can just add those in. I'm going to colour this whole thing with my watercolour pencils. When you choose what colours you're going to use, think about the values. So instead of using graphite pencil to do your shadows, you can create the same effect by using light and dark coloured pencils. I've put the lighter yellow on the edge and the darker orange in the centre. On this next section, I'm colouring the whole thing in orange and then emphasising the lines in between with red and deepening where it overlaps with this same red. Adding a touch of yellow will emphasise the lighter sections of this pattern. Once you've finished, you can go back in and add more deeper colours to emphasise the shadows. For this project, I'm using a water brush. It's very handy, you can take it anywhere and you don't have to worry about filling up containers of water, but you could also use a normal paintbrush. When you start activating this paint, work your way from the lighter colours down into the dark. You can then move a little bit of the dark up into the lighter bit, but wipe off your brush when you come back into the yellow section and you can even out the paint where you want it to go. If you start from the darker section and move it up, you'll obliterate all of that lovely bright yellow. In these smaller sections, it's a little bit harder to keep the lighter sections light. So if you happen to make it darker like this, clean off your brush, dry your brush, and then come back into that lighter section and it removes some of that paint. You could leave the edges white, but I've decided to draw an aura around each of those sections and colour it in with black. When I'm doing a lot of colouring, I often switch to this Uniball eye pen because the colour it comes out so smoothly and quickly. You just have to be careful that you don't smudge it because it does dry a little bit more slowly. Have fun with this pattern. You can experiment with different colours, and here's my examples to give you some inspiration.
I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do that so that you don't miss out on future videos. If you'd like to share your work on my Facebook group, there's a link for that below this video. And also there's a link, remember, for the Markus Operandus. So if you don't already have that, click on that link and it'll take you straight to it. Thank you for watching, and until next week, stay safe and bye for now. If you'd like to see more of my videos, head over to my YouTube channel, or there are a couple of links here on the screen. And while you're here, you can hit that subscribe button.